Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated!
Well, at least this time it's snowy, so I'm not riffing the exact same credits. Yeah, I suppose I can get used to this. Oh, wait, never mind. Barney, you stole my Percy's Chocolate Crunch cereal! Sorry, Fred! I tell you, Lemon, my voice was even on Thomas the Tank Engine.
Sir Topham Hatt's engines love being shiny and clean.
They also love horses, cherries, and the color royal blue, but that's another story. Hey viewer, how many times has this clip been used now? I've lost count. OMFG, it's stuck.
Percy often has the dirtiest work to do.
Why? Because the Fat Controller hates his guts, that's why. 4 o'clock, when the railway grinds to a halt so all the engines can get clean.
But Sir Topham Hatt had bad news. Due to a water shortage, he said, no engine shall have more than one washdown a day.
A message so important I had to deliver it myself.
And left. Percy was upset. I get dirty, he complained.
In other news, the sky is blue and Dane Cook is unfunny.
I am important, Gordon sniffed. I'm an express engine.
Wanna fight about it?
Pouty puffer, Percy, teased James. No, I'm not, wheezed Percy.
That line would have gone better. No, I'm not, needled nervous Nellie Percy.
Percy was loading freight cars at the dock.
Somewhere, somehow, a British fan just had a little mini spasm over the rolling stock terminology.
As Percy pushed them under the coal chute, they sang out. On, they cried.
Well, that's hardly singing out.
Under the chute, and coal dust flew everywhere. Oh no, coughed Percy. I'm filthy. Percy felt awful, but he knew he had to carry on.
Carry on, and nothing really matters.
Even more. Clickety-clack, don't look back, dirty Percy's on our track. Be quiet, Percy snapped.
I don't know if I wish I could be in Engine 2 anymore. I'd have to put up with that biting criticism from the freight cars.
When Percy arrived at Callan Station, he was very upset.
I think I could tell from the frowny face, Alec.
I'm doing work where I won't get dirty. Harold the helicopter was at Callan Station picking up medical supplies.
Ah! I only just realized how terrifying Harold is.
And he took off blowing cinders and ashes everywhere.
Cinders and Ashes is trademark and copyright Thomas the Tank Engine, 2011.
Not again, cried Percy. I want a washdown.
Oh, surprise!
Cleanliness reminded his driver. I want to be useful where I can't get dirty, Percy huffed. There's a load of sugar going to the chocolate factory.
You know, that chocolate factory that Sodor all of a sudden has.
Sugar, said Percy. That's nice and clean. Percy was pleased.
Damn it, Alec, if you're gonna keep telling us their emotions, why even bother giving the engines different faces?
Percy didn't know that earlier, a leaky freight car had spilled oil on the track.
And to be fair, could he really be expected to know that?
When he approached the chocolate factory,
his driver imitated Thomas's O-face.
But Percy's wheels just skidded on the oily
And so did Percy.
Oh no, hooted Percy.
No, not the chocolate river, not the schnozberries, not the golden eggs. No, stop, you've killed 3 Oompa Loompas.
Yuck.
And now you're a racist stereotype. Congratulations, Percy.
He was covered from funnel to firebox in sticky, gooey chocolate.
You know, it's funny, I was just thinking about how much that scene needed wah-wah music.
You look good enough to eat, Thomas hooted.
Thomas the Cannibalistic Engine.
James. Chalk ice on wheels, chipped in Henry.
Much to the confusion of the American audience.
Pompously. Ahem, said a stern-sounding voice.
As the Fat Controller teleported on screen.
You have had a trying day, Percy, he said. Yes, sir, replied Percy from beneath the chocolate. But you've showed us all that usefulness does come before cleanliness.
Holy crap, he's not punishing him for something that wasn't his fault. Is this the same Fat Controller? This is like Bizarro top-up. This is blowing my mind, man. I mean, seriously, wow. I'm just gonna keep talking because this theme song's starting up again, but wow. That's just insane. The Fat Controller always blames the engines for things that aren't their fault. Wow. I wonder what else will end up not being true now. That's just weird. Oh, anyways, world's strongest engine. Here we go. Change one letter and you get David Mutton, which is a tasty dish made from sheep.
The engines on the island of Sodor,
Wonder how many times an episode has started out with that prefix. I've completely lost count.
To complete their jobs on time. They don't like confusion and delay.
Because it's a very overused catchphrase.
But the troublesome trucks delight in mischief.
And they're not going to show us that crash? I mean, that looks awesome. I want to see that. That could rival the Flying Kipper.
Henry has had an accident and been...
He went number 2.
Said Sir Topham Hatt. There are no other engines available, so Diesel will help until Henry returns.
Not only are there no other engines available, but I've also recently contracted brain damage.
Didn't like Diesel. He was always being rude and always showing off.
And always hurling racial slurs.
Henry's mended soon, said Percy. He moves more trucks than 3 Diesels put together, agreed Thomas. Trucks are no one's friends, huffed Gordon.
Which has nothing to do with the conversation at hand, he just felt like saying it.
When Sir Topham Hatt sees how good I am, he bragged to the trucks, he'll get rid of steam engines once and for all.
Because it apparently works like that.
This gave the troublesome trucks an idea.
They would get dental work.
Diesel shunted them together. They started to sing. Is that all you can hold?
Okay, say what you will about Alec Baldwin's narration in comparison to Michael Angelis, but at least Baldwin can carry a tune. Michael Angelis just kind of randomly shouts those lines.
Stronger than Henry. I'll push you all at the same time, he said.
Because that's worked out so well for Diesel in the past.
Push us all, you'll be the strongest.
Again, dental work.
That's me, said Diesel. The world's strongest engine.
And we have a title!
And Diesel shunted 5 trucks together. Then 10. Then 15.
15 trucks!
Soon he had an enormous line of 20 trucks.
Mine's bigger, he said to Percy.
He thinks he's the world's strongest engine, replied Thomas.
I overheard him say that. As the main character, I'm allowed to eavesdrop.
Diesel didn't know the shunters had set the brakes on the trucks.
Why? Why, purely to screw with Diesel's head, of course.
Push anyway. Push, push, push.
I can see the head.
Diesel pushed, and he pushed, and he pushed.
And then, to break up the monotony, he pushed some more.
So Diesel decided to pull the trucks instead.
Because that's sure to work.
Heave ho, you can pull, but we won't go.
They shall not be moved.
Diesel very cross.
Looks like Diesel's been getting some of that dental work.
He pulled, and he pulled.
Look, an ever-reliable Sodor coupling. Wait for it. And there we go.
Grease and oil, Diesel sulked.
You have just witnessed Diesel attempt to coin a catchphrase and fail miserably. I think the soundtrack just farted at us.
Down crossly at Diesel. I thought you would be a proper dockyard Diesel.
As we all know, Henry's usual job is dockyard Diesel, which is why the Fat Controller put Diesel there.
Time, Henry? Oh, yes, sir, Henry replied happily.
Gee, good thing the Sodor Works fixed Henry in under 24 hours.
He backed up to the trucks and the shunters released the brake.
Okay, we've had our fun. Go get him, Henry.
Then Henry pulled away as easy as pie.
Speaking of pie, I could really go for some pie right now. Maybe apple. Or rhubarb. Rifftrains, now with 20% more pie flavor speculation.
Diesel was sent home in disgrace.
So, based on past events, if Diesel's in disgrace, does that mean he's gonna get to pull the Queen?
Troublesome trucks can do you a favor sometimes, Chuck Thomas. Like getting rid of a smelly old diesel, puffed Percy.
Racism is fun.
Hold on to your hats, kids. It's time for another Ask Don Handel. Kodak 888 writes, Dear Don Handel, if the Fat Controller fancies the Butler in WTL Network's parodies, and prefers blonde bikini babes in TTTE parodies spoofs, is it safe to assume he's bisexual? Oh, most certainly. I'd also like to add that in addition to the Butler and the blonde bikini babe, the Fat Controller has had affairs of varying sizes with the Signalman, the Admiral, Mr. Percival, Wiggles, Optimus Prime, Olaf the Swedish Bodyguard, Mrs. Station Master, Mr. Station Master, The Breakfast, Lord Callan, Ringo Starr, the Varying Lady Hats, the Grimace, several prostitutes of both genders, and this fella. The guy really gets around. George UK CFC writes, Dear Don Handel, how did Arian Boyd escape any attempted murder charges after trying to kill Stepney? Well, isn't it obvious that they were working for me the whole time? I got some friends in the police department who were sure that the charges were dropped. Of course, Stepney didn't escape my boys the second time. Oh, and disregard the Stepney who's currently working on the Bluebell Railway. He's a phony. His real name's Lawrence. Narrow Gauge Engine writes, Dear Don Handel, how are you? I've been better. I got shot again last week. The Robin 53 writes, Dear Don Handel, why were you shot at? Because Boss Reneus has been trying to muscle in on my turf. He evidently needs to be taken care of. Consigliere Sam. Yes, Don Handel. Put out the hit. And not this hit, but the other kind of hit, if you get my drift. Submit your questions today in the comment section of this video, or else the Don may have to make you an offer you can't refuse. And look out in the future, because there's a Don Handel comment special coming up to answer the huge amount of questions posted on the other video. Stay tuned, folks.